Welcome back, everyone, to Kat Reacts, a live reaction show where I, Kat MacBerrie, live react to the latest trailers to drop on Disney+. And today's trailer is a long-awaited one in the Star Wars fandom. We've had a lot of downtime since Mandalorian, and of course we had Bad Batch to fill the void, but a lot of people kind of want to get back to the Mandalorian, or at least something similar like it. Enter the Book of Boba Fett. I won't lie, I never saw the interest in Boba Fett. I honestly thought he was a really overrated character. Like, when you rewatch the original trilogy and you see how much presence he actually has in the film, like, it's really nothing. He's just there to, I guess, kind of look cool, but he doesn't really do much other than track them and sell them out to the Empire. Like, he tries to fight back, but then he dies in Return of the Jedi. So it's really kind of amazing that just from his brief cameo in both Empire and Jedi, so much lore has popped up because of this one character. You have the race of Mandalorians, you have the bounty hunters, you had all these spin-offs, and yeah, I know he had like origin stories both in the books and the comics. He had that little cartoon in the Star Wars holiday special. So definitely there's no shortage of material in Boba Fett. However, what really piqued everyone's interest, including my own, is when he reappeared in Season 2 of Mandalorian. And dude, the way he was foreshadowed, the way he made his official debut, the way that they got the original actor back, the one who had played Jango in the prequel trilogy, like, they went all out for that. And they honestly didn't have to go that hard, because all you had to do was say Boba Fett and you get all the classic fanboys showing up, but damn, like, honestly, it was probably one of the smartest moves ever that they had Robert Rodriguez direct that episode. The fact that they showed just how friggin' badass he was, you know, once he put on the armor, and even before that, just the way he fights. For someone who's based on a clone trooper, like, his fight style is really fucking brutal, and I loved it. I could watch that whole fight scene in Season 2, like, over and over and just be satisfied. So yeah, it's odd that I'm actually excited for a Book of Boba Fett trailer, because after the ending of Season 2, when he basically just friggin' bitch slaps Bib Fortuna off of his throne and just plops himself down, was like, I'm king now. Like, that was amazing. That really got me excited to see where his story was going to go from that point. I assume he's going to show up in The Mandalorian 3, presumably, I guess, depending on whether there's a time skip or not, but yeah, I'm interested to see where he goes from here. I'm also interested to see what Fennec Shand is going to do now that she is partnered up with him, because as we all know, Boba basically saved her life, so she's now indebted to him, but it seems like she does authentically like being in his company, so they're probably going to be partners from here on out. I don't think she'd be subservient to him. I mean, she is a bounty hunter, but I feel like she, at the very least, would be his right-hand man, or woman, whatever. But it's interesting to see, like, how they run Tatooine from this point onward, because, let's face it, they took it over real easily, and it makes me think, could he have done this the whole time, or did he just need his armor? But anyway, I gave all my thoughts in our review show of The Mandalorian, so go watch We Have Spoken if you want to know the full details of that. But yeah, basically, I'm really excited for this, to see what's in store for Boba Fett. So let's get started, shall we? Let's see how the bounty hunter that started it all does in his own spin-off. And play.
I am not a bounty hunter.
You kind of are, dude.
Otherwise. I know that you sit on the throne of your former employer.
That guy looks familiar.
Jabba ruled with fear. I intend to rule with respect.
That's debatable, but we'll see.
You were all once captains under Jabba the Hutt.
Why speak of conflict when cooperation can make us all rich?
Tatooine has an underworld. Big shock.
If you had spoken such insolence to Jabba, he'd have fed you to his menagerie.
True.
Faith. Speak freely.
Say it to my face, bitch. Okay, so bit underwhelming, I gotta say. I mean, nothing that we really see differently in Tatooine. I mean, it's basically the crime lord's hub of, like, the Outer Rim, so the fact that he's, like, going head-to-head with the cartels after overthrowing Jabba's throne, I mean, that's not exactly surprising. I should mention, Doug and I recently finished watching Clone Wars, and we're in the middle of watching Rebels. We're, like, on the last season. I had not watched it before we watched Mandalorian, so I didn't know about all of the background of Boba between when Jango died and when he showed up in the original trilogy. Like, I had my guesses, but yeah, they definitely fleshed out a few more things that honestly made more sense in the long run. And the reason I bring this up is because I did see some people comment about this, and I tried to ignore it for, you know, spoilers' sake, but I couldn't help but think of it when while watching this. One of the big points in Clone Wars, and actually one of my favorite points too, is when Darth Maul comes back and basically overthrows all of the cartels in the galaxy in order to get them to work together and overthrow Mandalore. Like, that was pretty fucking awesome. And if I'm being honest, this kind of seems like it's going in the same direction, just on a slightly lesser scale, like probably just Tatooine, if I had to guess. Somebody also mentioned it was kind of like a Soprano situation too, where you have all like these gangs going toe-to-toe. So I'm guessing that's what's gonna happen in this. It's just gonna be Boba trying to establish himself as leader of Tatooine and basically trying not to get killed by the rest of the cartels who are probably vying for power ever since Jabba bit the dust. Because I do believe this takes place, what, like 5 years after Return of the Jedi, so it's odd that there hasn't been more of like a challenge for the throne. Like, the fact that Bib Fortuna even sat on it as long as he did before Boba friggin' offed him is like a miracle in and of itself. But I guess he being Jabba's right-hand man, he was no stranger to assassins, and probably didn't expect Boba to come and be like, back from the dead, assholes! So yeah, this trailer was like, it was okay. I mean, not much to really note. There might be like characters in there I'm just not recognizing. Like, I'm not an all-knowing expert on like every single side character. And again, I haven't fully finished watching Rebels, so there might be other characters that do show up that I'm just not fully familiar with. But for what I do know, I mean, I recognize the two main people. They're there, so that's all I really care about. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what direction this goes in, whether or not this is going to be just a standalone season or if they're going to add on to it. I mean, point being is that we still got The Mandalorian Season 3 to look forward to. I know that's not technically till next year, whereas Boba Fett obviously comes first at the end of December. And of course, Doug and I will be live reacting to that. In addition, we will be live reacting to Season 3 of Mandalorian as well. The reason we didn't initially is because at the time, like I said, we had not seen Clone Wars or Rebels, so we felt a little ill-equipped to like comment on it fully, just because we were a little bit too ignorant to make like, you know, the connection to certain characters upon first viewing. Plus, in addition, we were watching it with people that we knew weren't comfortable doing live reactions to it, and we didn't want to like spoil things for them on top of that with our commentary. But now I feel like we're a lot better prepared to tackle this. One thing I did note in our channel update is that we do intend to sort of do like a Star Wars review month, starting with our review of the Clone Wars, followed by a review of Rebels, and then followed by Star Wars Vision. I get that Visions isn't really in connection with anything, but it kind of felt like we should probably leave that last and tackle the, you know, sort of mandatory viewing stuff first. Plus, of course, you know, it's connecting everything to Bad Batch as well, which I know is probably coming back sometime next year. But the point being is that you can look forward to a nice Star Wars month on our channel with 3 reviews, followed by the live reaction of Boba Fett, and eventually The Mandalorian. So, no shortage of Star Wars on this channel, for sure. And until next time, when the next big trailer drops, I'm Kat MacBerrie, and I'm just a simple woman trying to make her way in the galaxy.
Episode 7, Boba on the hunt, ; watch your ass.